Hi, everyone. My name is Nina Rosien. I'm a clinical dietitian for the Center for Community Health and Prevention and WellU. And today I'm going to be making a 2-ingredient pumpkin muffin recipe. And it is an effort to tackle a comfort food of mine, but make it a little bit healthier. So what I love about comfort foods is that it truly is different for each person. For myself, I love baking. I also grew up in an Italian household where I love pasta, and that's really comforting for me. So it really is different for each person. And today is my attempt of making my comfort food also tasty and healthful and really easy to make. So I'm not sure if you've seen this recipe online, but it really gained a lot of popularity within the last year or so. And it's super, super easy. I have the oven preheating right now at 375 degrees. I have these little muffin tins. I put the cupcake liners in there and I sprayed those really quick with just any sort of oil. And you will need more than this amount, but I only have a small tin. So that's what we're going with. I might just have to make multiple batches. So I have that prepared and we're just going to throw things together. So this is the spice cake mix. It doesn't matter what brand you get. You just get the standard spice cake mix. You can get it in the baking aisle. And we're going to add that in first. And what I love about using a spice cake mix and pumpkin is that they're really, with a spice cake mix, you don't have to worry about the whole, like having every single spice at home, and they're really all together and perfect that way. And I'm going to add the pumpkin, but before I do that, I'm actually going to talk about the nutrition a little bit. So pumpkin is a wonderful piece of produce. I love it for this time of year. I love the color of it. It has a variety of vitamins, minerals, but why I love that it's into this recipe, specifically this pumpkin muffin recipe, is that it actually incorporates more fiber than a standard muffin recipe because it has the majority of it, like, or at least 50% of it is pumpkin. And so in just a half a cup of pumpkin, there are 3 grams of fiber and no added sugar and no saturated fat. And it's also naturally decreasing the saturated fat and sugar in the recipe, because in comparison, you would normally add oil or some other form of sugar or something to make it taste sweeter. So this swap is actually naturally decreasing the saturated fat and sugar in them by using a pumpkin substitute. And it's just standard canned pumpkin, nothing fancy. Don't use the pumpkin filling, like the pumpkin pie filling. We want the straight pumpkin. So I'm going to add that. I used, you can really just use one 15-ounce can. This is a bigger can just because I use pumpkin pretty regularly. So I just cut it in half. I'm going to add it right now. Again, what I love about fall, and if you've seen me do any other class or lunch and learn or anything, I've probably talked about my obsession with pumpkin spice. So this is a very easy and simple way that I can incorporate my pumpkin spice addiction into my baking habits. So I'm going to start by just mixing it together a little bit just to make it not as powdery. And then I'm actually going to use my mixer and try to whip it together a little bit to make it a little more fluffy. All right, so I just whipped together the pumpkin and the spice cake mix, and you can see it here. It's pretty thick, so that's normal. And what I'm going to do now is take my scooper. You don't have to use this. I just like it for consistency purposes. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to dollop that into the pumpkin, or I'm sorry, the cupcake tin. If you want to make these a little bit sweeter, you can add chocolate chips to them, which I'm actually going to do to a couple of them. I'm just going to add a little bit of chocolate chips on top. Or you can add like a cream cheese frosting. I'm going to also add on a couple of them to make them a little bit more muffin-like. I'm going to add some pumpkin seeds on top. And that also is my method of adding a little bit more fiber. And sometimes I like to have a little bit of texture too, like when it comes to a muffin, besides just the regular muffin consistency. So, okay, so this is what they look like. I'm going to take my pumpkin seeds, wherever they are, here they are, and add a couple of them to the top of the muffins. And again, you don't have to do this. This is just my little addition to the recipe because I just think they look cute and also add some color and crunch to it. And then on some of them, I'm actually going to put some chocolate chips to make them taste a little sweeter. And again, you can use your own creative liberty to, if you want to add chocolate chips within them, or if you don't want chocolate chips, or even if you want to do white chocolate chips, it's truly up to you. I'm just kind of trying to be a little fancy, a little creative. And There we go. Okay. So this is what they look like. I'm going to put them in the oven and have them bake for a little bit, and then I will come back and we can look at them and see how they turn out. Okay, so the pumpkin muffins just came out of the oven, and I'm going to grab one. I'll grab the chocolate chip one, just to give you a little bit of an example. I'm not going to bite right into it because it is kind of hot still. I mean, some people love having a warm baked good, but I don't want to burn myself. So I'll just kind of break it in half. It's actually hot to touch. Let them cool first. Don't do what I'm doing. But I just wanted to show, breaking, you can see the chocolate chips breaking in half. It really is a good cakey muffin, very hot as well. So I'm going to put that down, but it is very, very similar consistency to like a muffin or a cake. And I like using them as muffins, but you can absolutely add like a cream cheese frosting to that and make it a more of a cupcake. Or you can leave it as is, or you can make them even into mini muffins and have those, a little smaller quantities. Sometimes I find that kind of helpful if I don't want to have like a larger pumpkin muffin. I'll just want a little treat and have like the mini muffin. Also, there's a couple different ways to navigate baked goods. I love baking, so it's just going to always be a part of my life. And I found some ways to find ways to make them fit, when it comes to baked goods, because it is just me and my husband living at home. So if I make a large tray of brownies, they'll either go bad or I have to feel like I have to eat like quite a bit of them just to get them eaten and not throw them away. So I've learned to either always find recipes that I can cut in half so that way I don't have as much in the home and they won't go bad, or I'll freeze a lot of them into individual portions where I can just take one out at a time. Like if I'm wanting like a nighttime snack or something after dinner, I'll take out like one brownie and have that. So I can find a way to make it fit, but not feel like I'm overindulging by any means. But I do love this recipe because it is so simple, and it does have less saturated fat and added sugar compared to other muffin recipes. So I highly recommend you try it at home. Super easy, super quick, and I hope you enjoy.